Hey, it's me, OGDuffy, and I have had some success in a charity shop. Yes, you heard that right. I have had some success in a charity shop. Now, those that watch the channel know, whenever I go game hunting, I always pop into the charity shops, and I'll be honest, down here, particularly southeast Kent here, there's just nothing. It's really, really, really barren. There is one shop though that I go to that I generally, 90% of the time I go in, they do have some titles that are worth looking at. They're not usual sort of fodder, your Call of Duties and your FIFAs. But I've had some success. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to show you the footage of me going around some charity shops, and then I will show you the pickups I've had at the end. But not only that, we will also look at the values, the trading values against CEX, okay? What I would cost, these titles would cost me in CEX, how much they would give me in cash if I was to flip them and trade them in, and equally, store credit, how much they would give me in store credit. Now, the games I've got, I do not own any of them except one. I can't remember what I've got. Anyway, we're going to go through them shortly, guys. So, let me crack me beer. A bit of an Iron Maiden brew going on here. I picked these up Christmas time, and I'm keeping the bottle tops on these for this very reason. Take a look, guys. The Flight of Icarus, that one, the Flight of Icarus. So every one has got like a bottle top that represents an Iron Maiden cover or something. Okay. Shock Troopers 2 playing now. Really good little game, thoroughly enjoyable. But before we get to them charity shops, for those that are interested, this is the brew I have been tasting for the Trooper Day of the Dead Lager. It's 4.7%. Okay. Now, as you know, I always drink lager generally, but this is a bitter. It's Robinson's, sorry, my bad. Robinson's Brewery. And this is tasty as, mate. Oh, it's very nice. If you get the chance to get some of this, do so. It's lovely. It's called that Trooper, but it's the Day of the Dead brew. So, guys, it's enough of me and the beer. We'll take this over there where I'll show you my pickups. But first off, let me show you how barren these charity shops were. But not all.
Charity shop number one, your usual FIFA and stuff, but some PS1 titles. I got quite excited, but unfortunately nothing major. I couldn't find a price for this on CEX, so I couldn't do a comparison. This little courtyard here, there are 3 charity shops, so it's always a good little spot. Unfortunately though, not a lot in here, my usual fodder. I did look at SingStar, that's for Mrs. OG, but I think she's already got that one. She does like a sing-song, my missus. But unfortunately I can't sing. And this, look, Heroes. Who remembers Heroes? She was a pretty little thing, wasn't she, the cheerleader? And am I right in saying, was she married to one of the Klitschko brothers? I'm sure she was. Let me know in the comments. Now, next charity shop, this is number 3. We had FIFAs here. And some Just Dances, etc. on Wii. Now, as you can see here, this is a FIFA game, and it's £1. Now, I've no problem with charity shops charging £1 for a game like this, honestly. But some charity shops you go in and they'll be charging £3, £4, £5 for that same title. And that I just don't get. Moving away from the retro games, here are some comic books. I'm starting to see a few more comic books appearing in charity shops now. These are Suicide Squad comics, DC Comics, not particularly old or anything. But they're wanting £2.50 each for these. Now, to be absolutely honest with you, if you were to go into a proper comic book shop that has like the old issues, there's no way in the world they'll be charging 2.5 notes for some of them, trust me. Now, charity shop number 4 in my town. Hit and miss this one. Sometimes you get something. I think one of the last decent games I got in here was BMX Triple X about a year ago. It was in the window. Yeah, it was a cool game. But this time, unfortunately, nothing at all. As you can see here, I scoured the shelves and it's all films. Lots of decent Blu-rays and stuff, but I'll be honest, I don't buy films simply because digitally now, I mean, to stream and all that, they're all available on streaming services, aren't they? So it's a real shame. But one thing I did notice, I looked at the DVDs, and occasionally, just like we did here, the odd game sneaks up onto the DVD shelf, like this one. Zumba, there for the Nintendo Wii. Unfortunately, it wasn't a Nintendo Wii U version, because let's be honest, if that had been there, my God, I'd have snapped that up, because that's going for silly money now. This same charity shop has had these comics in place now for a long time. Before COVID, they had about 5 boxes of these. They wanted £5 a comic. They've now dropped it to £2.50 a comic. There's 2 boxes left. But you guys know, and I know, any edition here that is worth anything decent has been had, guys. So come on, just bang them out for 50p to £1 each. Get rid of them, clear the shelves, surely. And finally, away from my hometown, this charity shop is about 8 miles from where I live, and I have to say, I always find stuff in here. Don't get me wrong, it's not old classic brilliant game titles, but there's always something. 90% of the time I pop in quite often, and I'm happy to find things. I mean, it's fairly modern stuff normally, as you can see here, but you know what? It's well priced, it sells well. Now, this charity shop was a cancer research shop, really well priced, and I think they've got their target audience just right. I was in a British Heart Foundation shop, and I overheard the staff talking about the staff upstairs pricing stuff for eBay and the rest of it, and don't get me wrong, I fully understand it's for charity and everything else, and but I don't know. You know, like for example, them comic books that we saw, they had 5 boxes and they've sold them for £5 a copy all them time, and they've had them there years. I've been in charity shops recently where they've been turning donations away because they just haven't got the space. Sell it at a decent price, get rid of it, don't have it sitting there for years, surely, guys, you know, come on. Anyway, that's that. So, a great little hunt out on the charity shops, and only one thing left to really do, isn't there? Yeah, you know what it is. Got to go for a beer, ain't I? All right, brilliant. Thank you. Cheers. Lovely. Now, confession time, guys. I went to the charity shops, as you saw, and unfortunately nothing there, guys. So what it is, I then went in CEX, and I have to say it was really busy. The shelves were just crowded. But I'm in town tomorrow because it's little OG's birthday. So we're coming into town tomorrow, and we're going to, I'm going to go and do it then for 10 minutes and get my challenge underway. But I thought a pint was more important at this stage. So cheers, guys. Let's get back to it. Well, as you saw there, guys, the local charity shops to me were all pretty barren. I mean, it was usual sort of fodder in there. And again, some quite overpriced, I felt. But the one charity shop that I told you earlier that I do have some success at when I am passing, it's not local to me, it's probably about 10 miles away. But quite often I find myself going to this location, so I pop in the charity shop there. And like I say, generally 90% of the time I do find something. No big heavy hitters or anything like that, but games that I can earn a few quid on if I chose to flip them. What I'll be doing, just for a bit of fun, I'll be showing you the CEX prices, what it'll cost to buy me in CEX, what CEX will give me in store, in cash if I was to flip them, and what CEX will give me in store credit, which is the most important, really. So, I have 3 different pickups that I had from the same store, okay? So, trip number 1, got 3 games at, and this first game here, it says on the label, was £3, now £2. I went in, it was recent, it was probably the most recent pickups, these 3, and it was January, just shortly after Christmas, or after New Year, should I say, and the guy had priced them up. I think they were half price. Because he charged me half what I should have done. So I'm assuming it's quite often, I think it's, this was a
cancer research, and quite often with the blue labels and stuff that they use, I do think it's sometimes buy one get one free on media and things like that. So I don't know how it come to it. So I spent a total of, these worked out £1 each roughly, okay? So that's Conan there, Conan on the PS3. I checked it out in store. The disc is brilliant condition and a lovely condition manual. I'll be keeping that one because I absolutely love the Arnold Schwarzenegger film of Conan. I know it's not the same franchise, but hey, it's fantasy, it's fighting. I love anything sort of fantasy like that, you know that. Okay, anyway, there's the prices going up there. That's what is valuing at CEX. And at the end, we'll do a complete roundup, okay, on the totals. The other two games I got in that same store on the same day was this one. And these were both blue labelled at £2 each, okay. Like I say, so it worked out £1 each, charged me £3 for the total. Sonic Gems Collection on the PS2 Sonic Gems Collection. Now, as you can see with this one, again, a lovely manual and a superb condition disc. Now, I was really pleased with this. It's one I haven't got in a collection, and as you can see by the value going up there on this single title, that was a good little buy for £1, you know. Oh, it's taken so long to get any decent results at a charity shop, but that was probably one of the better ones on my 3 visits. This one here, Superstar Tennis. Sega Superstar Tennis. Again, £1. This one's on the Nintendo Wii. Looks interesting. It looks very, I'd describe it, it's very Nintendo-ish, although it's a Sega title. It looks very sort of the family fun Nintendo element there going on. A lovely condition manual, and the disc is superb. Doesn't really look like it's been played, to be absolutely honest. But there we go, so there was that one, and I was pleased with that. So that was the first time I went, not the first time, but on that one trip to that charity shop, they were the 3 pickups I had on that occasion. So I was well happy with those. The second occasion, I got 2 titles. Again, these were £1 each, okay, £1 each. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, value's going up there, guys. Now, as you can see, it's got a manual and it's got the disc. Now, this disc is not the perfect disc. It's got what I describe as, it's just really light scratches. You're probably not picking that up, to be fair, but it's light scratches. There's no deep scratches on there. I've checked this, it works fine. I'll be honest, we'll go through at the end and I'll tell you if I'm going to flip any of these, etc. And then this, The Getaway, right? I'll be absolutely honest, it was £1, and I've already got probably got 2 or 3 copies of this knocking about, but I just couldn't leave it there for £1, right? Because of this. I looked inside, and the disc is pucker condition, but it had the manual, which is a really nice condition, pucker condition manual, but it had the map as well, which is really nice condition also. So I do like this map. It's basically central London for those that played Getaway. It was a really good game for its time, one I thoroughly remember, and had some dodgy poster featuring some East End men. Mate, but it was a really good game, this. So really, although I've already got it for £1, I thought with the map and everything intact there, I've got to have it. I've just got to have it. So I did pick that one up as well. There's the values going up there, of course, and we'll do a complete roundup at the end, totals, shall I say. And then my third visit to it, more modern games this time. Okay, and again, all £1 each. Right, Xbox One, Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3. I've never played Borderlands 3, but the reason I picked this up, it was £1. I had a quick look on the app and I saw I could flip this for some money. I don't collect Xbox One games. I think my son, little OG, might have an Xbox One, but I know I haven't. So to be honest, that is probably going to be flipped at CEX, but it's a lovely condition game, a superb manual, and that disc, it just looks like it's never been played. It doesn't look like it's even been out of the box. So to be honest, I was really pleased with that one for £1. And next one, another 2 to go, was this one here, PS3 game. As you know, I click PS3. I don't own this one on the PS3. Monopoly. Now, who don't love a game of Monopoly? Always ends up in a row. Hey, it's good fun, isn't it? Till people get upset. Not much of a manual with that one, just more a slip. but the disc is fine, good condition. So to be honest, I'll probably keep that, whack that in the collection, featuring classic and world edition boards. I've never played a digital version of Monopoly before, so I'd be interested to see how they work out. And then the last one, and this is a cracking title, PS3, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. £1. Now I got well excited when I saw this. I thought, yeah, value's going up there. It's not the most collectible Resident Evil game, but hey, finding a Resident Evil game in the wild now in a charity shop at £1, what's not to love about that, guys, honestly. So although I do complain about charity shops, I do think some of the pricing is a bit wayward, but there's I think, if I'm to be honest now, if I had to favour a charity shop, if I go to a town, I think cancer research charity shops are probably the best priced for me. Don't get me wrong, there's no massive heavy hitting titles there, but to me, these are a brilliant find, because you just don't get the charity shop finds like you used to, you know? So when I get finds like this, it just makes my day, all right? So anyway, let's go through them all important titles, or totals of the titles, should I say. Those titles, £1 each. Can't knock that. Amazing. 8 games, 8 notes. Happy days. Now, if I was to go into CEX and buy these games off the CEX shelf, it would cost me a total of £41. Going up there, £41 total. If I wanted to flip these for cash in CEX, I would get a total of £10.90. So a £2.90 profit if I was desperate for the cash. I'm not. I will be putting the majority of them back in my collection. I'll probably flip a couple though. And finally, the most important of the three, CEX credit. If I was to take these into CEX to get credit, store credit, to put towards a heavy hitting title or something I wanted to buy, we're looking at £18.80. For an £8 layout, that is absolutely brilliant. This has actually been really good. It's sort of reinstalled a bit of faith in the charity shops. Now, in my local town, I'll be honest, I'll probably go to the charity shops at least once, or every time I'm downtown, I'll go to them. It drives the missus nuts, but it was just so nice to go in that other charity shop that I use. I'll say it's not in my town, and every time I go in, I'll generally find something, which is really, really positive. But my town is still very, very, very slim pickings. But hey, you know what? I'll never stop looking. I just can't walk past the charity shop without diving in quick, have a quick nosy over at the media section. You guys know how it is. I'm sure you're all the same. Now, as always, guys, in the comments, let me know any decent charity shop pickups finds you've had of late. They're still out there, you know. Don't get me wrong, they're not completely retro or anything, but I am really chuffed at finding them. So now, guys, it's a cheers from me. It's a cheers from the big man there, Bowser himself. He's great, isn't he? Mrs. bought me that lovely gift, and the boy. Bit of Paperboy going on in the background there. Atari Arcade Classic. I've been OGDuffy. You guys are awesome as always. Hit the subscribe button if you don't already do so. Remember, comment. Let me have your finds of late, please. Cheers.